Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another video. And is car culture getting a little boring and tired? I don't know. I just am not feeling the excitement I used to feel for a new car culture series or a new set. Just not as crazy about it. Yeah, the chases are kind of cool. That's kind of neat that they added those. That was like kind of like, we'll call this like third generation car culture. The original ones were about, $3.50 or so a piece when they had it on the standard card, and it just had, rubber tires, metal body, metal base, but not the full deco. And then they moved to the full deco. We'll call that Gen 2. And then Gen 3 is full deco card with a chase option. And all right, I'm not against the chase. The chase is cool. I think the chase is all right. I don't have any issues with it, other than that they are kind of difficult for me to just get. I'm better off maybe even going to eBay for them. Whatever, it is what it is, but it is nice, to hunt for a chase, I guess. That's cool. But that's not my argument here. It just seems that just car culture is kind of just getting a little boring. Maybe I'll change my mind as we open up these two sets. We've got... Exotic Envy, which is this like the third Exotic Envy release? I know there's at least been one before, and see, I can't even remember, and they're not, and that's the problem. These sets are not much memorable anymore, but we're going to go through it. The Porsche one did cause some controversy because apparently there was a bunch of cases that showed up without a Porsche in it, and I think this case also got recalled for some case code. Something happened with the case code, or date code on the case, or some sort of code on the case. There was issues, so they got like recalled. So I don't know. So I guess that's interesting. But that actually might be more interesting than the set itself. And normally, I mean, I love exotic cars. I dig them, and normally it'd be something I'd be like totally into. And this set, I just wasn't really... There's nothing to really be that crazy about. So you got a Porsche 911. This is a cool casting. It's a nice casting. I like it. I like the casting. This color scheme, I'm not a huge fan of. The other common complaint here with the newer car culture stuff is this, of course, dot matrix, low resolution, graphic. Whatever method they're using to do this, I mention it all the time, and maybe I sound like a broken record. Maybe I should stop mentioning it, or maybe I should continue to mention it, because it still somewhat irritates me. There are times when it looks okay, and times when it just doesn't look that good at all. And my eyes are still good enough, even as I get older right now, to see this from afar. Like from, this distance, I can still see the pixelation. And maybe part of it is that I know it's there, and that's why I can see it, but I don't know. To me, I wish they would just get a sharper graphic. In this day and age, you'd think that would be possible and still not have it be too expensive. Anyway, well, that's the only complaint we're going to give about that. I can't promise it, I guess, but I'm going to try to not complain about the graphics anymore. But anyway, being said, if this were sharp or not, this whole ketchup and mustard thing going on with this, I'm just not that into it. But that's the first one in the set. We can kind of go in order here. So we're going to finish off Exotic Envy, then we'll go to Slide Street 2, which we know is the second version of Slide Street, of course. This is the Lamborghini Reventon Roadster. Very cool casting from Hot Wheels. I like this car. I think normally I don't really like the Roadster type Lambos, with the open top Lambos, but this particular, the Reventon, looks really cool as a open top. So I've always liked the way this car looked, and I always thought the casting looked really good. Where I'm going to get irritated is the back wheels are just as wide as the front wheels, and they're tucked underneath the wheel well way too far. And yeah, it's an orange car with orange peel. I'm going to sound like I'm just complaining a lot in this video, and I apologize about that, but, it is how I feel, so I'm not complaining to just complain. We are going to try to find some positives here. For example, I do like this casting a lot. The wheel choice possibly could have been better. It looks better. If they would have been able to put some sort of spacer or something in there, maybe that would have fixed it. But it's way better if you can get the wheel out to right there instead of in right there. So I mean, that's kind of an obvious thing, I think. Let me move my lid back just a little bit here. But other than that, I mean, it's okay. It's basic. The graphics don't really matter here because there's not that much of them. You get a Lamborghini logo and a headlight. And having a little grain in the headlight, no issues with that whatsoever. Kind of a cool casting. Not exactly my favorite color for it. Not bad color for it. And then it's just the wheels, I think, that ruin it for this particular one. Number 3 in the set. Surprisingly, this one was so easy to find on the pegs, and honestly, it's my favorite. It's a BMW M1 Pro car, and this is a cool one. I actually picked up an extra one of these just to hoard away, even though it's probably not going to appreciate in value whatsoever. I did it anyway, and because I just like it. I like it a lot. It's an homage, I guess, to the BASF kind of livery. You know, we don't make the things you buy. We make the things you buy better. I think that was their motto. Not a bad motto to have, I suppose. But this one's pretty cool, and I quite like it. Again, I said I wasn't going to complain about the graphics. They could be sharper, okay, and higher resolution. They definitely could, but it kind of works on this car. It's not as noticeable. Wheel choice, we're fine with. Metal base, metal body, you know, the standard fare for these premium series cars. So this would have been a car for me to kind of get excited about. I like it. I like the actual casting itself, I think is cool. It's been around for a little while, right? 2016 is the copyright date on the bottom. So that gives you a hint at how long the casting's been around, and I like the casting. I think the casting is cool. Very nice. However, it's, you know, I don't know. There is no really however. It's been left on the pegs, I guess. It's been peg warmed for some reason. This particular car, which I think is the best one, clearly the best one in the set. Way cooler looking than that Porsche. Now, I get it. If I had the Chase, this would be the Chase, right? If you had a black version of this one, this is the Chase in the set, which I do not have. Do I want it? Yes. I mean, I do want it. I'd like to have a full set of Chases for these, but I'm so far behind at this point, I don't think it's really going to happen all that easily, but who knows. But this is top dog in the set, as far as I'm concerned. My least favorite in the set is definitely going to be this one. Speaking of open top cars that I think are just nasty ugly, that would be this Aston Martin V12 Speedster. Blech. It is just a gross looking car. I don't know why. And honestly, if I wasn't a completionist kind of with car culture and trying to get all the regular cars, since I've been collecting car culture since it first came out, I would never pick this up. Because to me, that looks very, very ugly. Well, I don't know. Anyway, the car looks ugly. I don't think this is a great look for this particular vehicle. That shape we have going on here, not good for a car. And yeah, this car's ugly. It just is. For some reason it reminds me of, well, all Aston Martins, the front of them kind of remind me of like a fish of sorts, a fish face. I don't know. It's not. It's just. I don't know. Whatever. This is the car. V12. Not a good one to put in this set. I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. Wheel choice, I guess, is all right. You know, whatever. It just looks like literally like slice cross section car. Like just cut it off. And it with the barn. It just. Bleh. I don't like it. I don't think it. Design wise, I think it looks terrible. All right. McLaren F1 505. This is a nice casting. This is a good one in the set. The color is nice. I think it's like the Mr. Bean color, isn't it? Didn't he have a McLaren F1 that was this color famously? Or close to it anyway. It was a maroon. So this is the Mr. Bean car, we'll call it. And nice color, decent wheel choice. Nothing to complain about with this one. So in all honesty, I mean, I probably would have bought all 4 of these cars if I wasn't collecting the whole set. The only one I would have left out would have been this one. And These two I would have got just because I actually legitimately like them, and I think they're a good version of these castings. These two I would have literally just bought because I collect Porsche and I collect Lamborghini. That would have got them in the collection. But if we're just collecting because we like things and not to be like a crazy collector hoarder kind of person and just being like, oh, I wanted to buy just a few cars and I want to buy the ones I really, really like, you know, these two might have made it. Those other three probably wouldn't have. And all in all, it's just kind of a boring set. There's nothing that exciting about it. And that's where I'm getting at with this car culture. It's been a while since I've been excited for a car culture set. And maybe the one after Slide Street that's coming out here, that is basically out. Slide Street seems to be just hitting targets right now. What is the newest set? I don't know. I'll have it soon. I think I actually have it on the way. And it's with the German cars in it, right? I think it's all German cars. Is it like a Deutschland design kind of thing? See, and I don't even know the names of the sets. It's either I'm just losing interest in general in these, or they are legitimately getting boring. So maybe this video is to ask you that question, and I want to hear from you guys what you think about car culture lately. So let's get into the next set. The next set's Slide Street 2. We've got this 2023 Nissan Z. This will breaking through the back there. No issues for me, obviously. I'm opening these cars. By the way, I pretty much get all my car culture sets now because I don't buy them in full cases. I get them from my buddy Jay. He buys a bunch of full cases to try to get chases and stuff, and then he'll just sell me a set. And it just works out that way. And I get them pretty much like cheaper than retail. So this is kind of interesting, though. They did graphic the top of this car, which is actually plastic, which is why it doesn't have like a gloss to it. So you can really feel kind of like the texture of the printing, which is not great. All right, I forgot. We're not supposed to talk about that anymore. Anyway, overall, I mean, it's a Nissan Z with a bunch of graphics on it. It's cool, I guess, but to me, it's not really my bag, and it's not really that exciting. Like, I like race cars. Like, this isn't really... I mean, I guess you could consider it sort of a race car graphic-ish. I mean, it's a drifting car, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't pull at me, okay? Not that much. Casting's okay, looks good. Other than that, it's kind of boring. What's number two? Number two, to me, might be one of my favorites in the set. This is a Liberty Walk, LB Works, Lamborghini Huracan, and I like this casting. Honestly, I probably would have bought this one again if we're thinking about qualifying purchases. That, you know, if I wasn't just a Lamborghini collector, I would probably get this one. It would be guaranteed in just because I pick up all the Hot Wheels Lamborghinis pretty much. Pretty sure I pick up all of them. Rarely do I miss one, or, you know, if I see it, I don't skip it. I typically pick it up, even if it's a casting I'm not like a super big fan of. This casting I do like. I think it does look good. I'm not sold on the wheel choice. It kind of looks cool. So this is, ooh, geez, I just dropped the car. It's kind of in a camo, and this kind of a bead-locked, like industrial-looking wheel kind of works, and I guess it's kind of a Lambo wheel-ish with the dots, you know, but it's not because of that like bead-lock look. It's kind of weird, and then like this turbofan type wheel thing. Kind of an odd mix, but it's a Liberty Walk. We'll let it pass, and the car does look pretty decent. So I like this one. It's not bad. It's not fantastically great, and not overly exciting. You know, I'm trying to even remember when the last car culture set is. What was the last one that I was like, oh yeah, that's a great set, I gotta get all of that? I can't remember it off the top of my head. So it means it must have been a while ago, or I'm just getting very forgetful, which I guess is possible as well. The next one is the 2023 Toyota GR Corolla. Cool tooling. This is the Chase if you find it in all black. But here we get it in Rain-X livery. This is a new casting. I don't know if this is necessarily the debut, but I'm pretty sure it might be. GR Corolla. Kind of cool to get a GR Corolla. Definitely would prefer it in the Chase in all black. This Rain-X livery doesn't look all that bad, though. It's pretty decent. Would I just buy this thing randomly if I was only collecting a few cars here and there? No, probably not. For the Toyota fanboys, I think this is probably a no-brainer. You would pick it up. GR Corolla. It's cool. It's a cool car, like in real life. It's kind of a neat car, but again, it doesn't really do much for me. And, this is my show. I guess it's my opinion, whether you agree with it or not, and that's fine. If you disagree, you can comment that, and I enjoy that, actually, so feel free. All right. It's all right looking, though. It's not bad. It's not terrible. It looks okay. All three of these, they look okay. Here's where it's hard not to say this is the star of the show. It's a Nissan 240SX S14 in silver, and no crazy graphics or anything. So it's a nice, clean, silver, almost champagne-ish color. And it's just a nice, clean-looking vehicle. This one, if I was only collecting a few cars and stuff like that here and there, I probably would be tempted to grab this. So we got 1 out of the 5. Well, maybe that Lamborghini counts as well. And I would be tempted to pick up this one. And because it does look really good in silver. I think the wheel choice works. Toy Inc. Very cool. That's Jimmy Lou, right? His Instagram. And maybe this is actually a replica of his car. It might be. Does he have one of these? He might. So, it's a nice car. Actually, I mean, it's cool. It's basic. It is not graphics all over the place. Nice, clean version of the car. I like it quite a bit. So this one would have been kind of a no-brainer add to the collection. But again, not for me, okay? For me, it's not like, whoa, they're doing one of those in silver? I'm not super stoked about it. And I think part of the reason is also it's not just that car culture, Hot Wheels, possibly might be getting a little tired and old. It's because with all the choices out there these days and all the different brands and everything else that you can get, once you go down the rabbit hole of 1/64 scale collecting and you have all these choices and all this random stuff that you can pick up, you can start to be a little bit more selective maybe with maybe you don't start to do it. Your brain does it. It starts to be a little more selective about what they get excited about. And so far, I mean, yeah, we got a couple in here that I really like, but nothing that I'm terribly excited about, including this 2018 Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5, which this looks like a nice version of this casting. I'm not a huge Mustang guy, right? So it's not going to be something that I'm going to, jump for joy over picking up. But I will admit that it does look good, and it does look nice. It's a cool-looking Mustang, okay? Hard RTR. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good looking version of this casting, for sure. It actually might be the best one so far that's come out, because I think mostly this one has come out with some pretty crazy, full wrap graphics on it. And again, I'll take a cleaner version over that any day. It looks a little goofy with the high-vis, stripes and accents all over the car, but for this car on the gray, I think it actually works quite well, and it looks pretty good. But there you have it. There's Slide Street 2. So there's 2 sets of car culture. Now, to put it in perspective, back in the day when I've done videos, I would do dedicated videos to just a car culture set. And at some point in time, I stopped doing that and just threw them into Diecast weekly episodes because they just weren't all that exciting. And now we're doing 2 car culture sets in a video instead of a dedicated video to each one. And that just kind of tells you where my head is at as far as how I'm feeling about these sets. Now, this next set that comes out, maybe I will do a dedicated video for it. I don't know. So don't get me wrong. Like, it would still be exciting. I would be very excited to find a chase, and I would keep it. I would open it. I would put it in my collection. But as a whole, in general, car culture sets just kind of getting a little tired to me. I'm more excited for the silver label sets sometimes. Like even the Ultra Hots, like the newest Ultra Hot set, which has a Datsun 510 in it and I think a Hacko Skyline. I mean, I'm more excited about that than these. So I don't know. Maybe that should tell you something. Maybe it doesn't tell you anything. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is car culture getting a little tired? We getting a little tired? Maybe we need to put her to bed for a little bit and then maybe revive it later on, or maybe Hot Wheels needs to move on to something else. Maybe they never will because these things still sell well. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. Am I getting old, or is this getting old? Let me know in the comments below. And again, you can check out all my other videos, all that cool stuff and all that. But like, comment, subscribe. I would appreciate it. It would be nice, I guess. So more content like this, and I'll continue to complain. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good day.